Anthony Schultz here, Diamonds Baseball coming up in just a bit. I'm with the acting manager today, Joe Torre. And Joe, new spot for you. How much have you done this?
I've actually got a good amount of managing and coaching third base experience, running the program I've been running for years with the Black Sox and playing against all the different leagues in spring training. I think I did, 30 games in this league last year at third. Got a good idea from Aaron of how he likes to play the, do it with this team, right. And just helping them out for a couple days here. You
know your baseball. We'll say that, right?
I wouldn't say I know as much as Aaron Miles knows his baseball, but I know my baseball. Yeah.
Dakota Freeze going for you guys tonight. What do you expect out of the right-hander?
Another strong outing. He's been strong out every time. Maybe try to keep the pitch count down a little bit this time and get out of there with a lead a little earlier than we've liked the last couple of games, but also those variables, playing at Martinez and certain things, we had to take those things into account on his last start. But another strong outing for Dakota. He's been good all year, and he'll continue to do that for us.
Interesting game last night. A little bit of problem with the bullpen. It's kind of been an ongoing thing. How do you guys look to handle this? I understand Travis Blakely is going to be back here at some time. Do you have any idea of how that is going to restructure either the starting rotation or the bullpen?
Well, your starting rotation is pretty much, going to be set, and the thing that we're trying to mix and match with the bullpen is which guy for which innings. Who's your first guy out of the pen? Who's your best seventh inning guy? If it's a two-run game, who's your best guy? Which is the situation we ran into last night. And unfortunately, we have a small sample size with a lot of these guys. We don't have all the answers, so you kind of trial by error, but at the same time, you know who your go-to guys are, and also the other variables of the extra inning game with the runners on base and who do you want in that situation. There's no way to know that in advance. Right. We haven't, they've never done that in their career, and but it's also just who's the hot guy, man? Who's throwing strikes? Who's getting guys out? You look at Hatch last night, he strikes those lefties out, or the righties out, he gives up the homer to the lefty. Obviously he's in there to get that lefty. So those things, they've only happened so many times. The sample size is so small, you don't know the answers until you keep going after it. But I think these guys have some confidence, and they have some real good stuff. And I think, with the move with Johnson, and maybe if Blackley comes in too, you'd have some guys with some pretty nasty stuff there at the back end, and another starter, obviously, in Blackley. So things might move around, but these guys are ready for it. So
yeah, the splits don't always work out right. The stats say they should. That's not always the way it works. Wes Wallace improving, playing a whole lot better. The average has gone up. The hits are going up lately. Tell me about the way he started and the way it's going right now, and what's the difference?
Well, Wes was actually with me with the Black Sox for a month in spring training and got 40, 50 at-bats before the season, too. So some of these guys, you don't know how long they're playing for. If they're playing for an entire year, getting a ton of at-bats, there's going to be these lulls in the summer that maybe are because they had 50 at-bats or 100 at-bats before the season, So he was ready to go early, and he's a hard-working, big, strong guy, and I think you see what he's capable of physically. But what I noticed the last week or two, extra hitting, coming out here, he's got like a machine in his car, and he's getting some extra work and some extra swings, and he comes out early with the guys. It was 100 yesterday. We banged BP, and he was still out here at 1 o'clock with the guys hitting off that thing. So, I got to know him a lot better when he was obviously on the road with me, and I know him from last season, and now understanding how he sees how his approach has to change to have more success. He's one of those hitters that you're seeing now with the at-bats, with the sample size getting larger, starting to do that over the course of the season. So he's only going to get better. We know what he's capable of, and he's putting in the work, and it's good to see that too, because he's one of the guys that some of these younger guys look to as like, hey, you've had success in this league. What do I do when I'm struggling? And now I bet you're going to see some other guys kind of start to get on because of that kind of hard work. So, Wes is going to do well for you.
He's a guy they're really counting on to produce a lot. That is Wes Wallace. Made a great defensive play in yesterday's game as well. Well, that wraps it up for Runs, Hits, Errands. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the start of today's game right after this.